You don't want to go by
Chad
your...
Michael Murray.
That's what I kept whispering during Weapons, weirdly enough.
Where's Chad Michael Murray?
I'm out of this place. That's one you don't want to go to a theater alone to watch. We all watched Weapons.
Yeah.
I made sure to go to it as full of a theater as I could.
On an IMAX screen, no less, for me.
Oh.
I don't know if that was good.
I went and saw this one at 2:17 p.m.
You went to one of those?
And I was like, why is it 2:17? And then the movie makes sense of it. But I'm like, well, way to go.
Yes. Well, and to not give a lot of spoilers about this, the premise is at 2:17 a.m., a classroom of kids just vanished. Ran off into the night, never to be seen again. Now there's one student left, there's a teacher, the community is shocked, they don't know what's going on. Josh Brolin decides he's gonna take it upon himself to figure out exactly what happened with this teacher. The teacher is an alcoholic. She's trying to get through this horrible trauma that happened to her. The film is done in a lot of different chapters, not necessarily like a 3-act structure. It's going through different characters that are all surrounding about 2 days worth of an experience.
Yeah.
But Kent, what did you think about this?
Incredible storytelling. This is Zach Kreger, who did Barbarians, which is kind of a love it or hate it type horror comedy, because it really delves into the comedy. And this movie is more of the same, right? It's a little bit more of a dramatic film. I wasn't as scared by Weapons as I maybe wanted to be, right? It felt more like Twilight Zone-esque, or more like a mystery thriller. With some really messed up parts. And but the whole time I'm sitting there going, okay, I'm not scared yet, but I cannot stop watching.
Yes.
Like the way they tell the character story in 15 minutes and then move to someone else's and tell a different perspective. I was like, keep it going. Unfold. And then when it gets crazy, it gets crazy.
Rebecca, what did you think of this?
Oh, I loved it. The Rashomon storytelling style. I really love that type of storytelling where you get different perspectives from different characters, and you learn different aspects. Like one of the kids, like Josh Brolin's kid, you learn he was a bully,
right?
And you don't see that when Josh Brolin's story is told, but you see it through other characters' perspectives.
Yes.
I agree. I think I liked Barbarian more than Weapons, but I think it's unfair to compare them because I think they're both really awesome. Like I like apples and I like oranges. And like you said, it's way more of like a mystery thriller-y type. Zach Kreger does an awesome job of establishing an atmosphere of dread. And there are some scenes, I will admit, I did get up to use the bathroom at one point and I came back and it was dead silent in the theater. And I felt embarrassed climbing back up the stairs when it's dead silent. You could hear a pin drop.
Well, Zach Kreger, this is his second film, right?
Yes.
And by no means is this a sophomore slump.
No.
Sure, maybe Barbarian was more entertaining for us, but I think a lot of the marketing both enhanced my viewing for it because I was just curious through the entire thing, but it might have also set up a little bit of disappointment because you're looking for whatever this big reveal is, and that's not necessarily the story that this movie is trying to tell. It's much more trying to give like a Rashomon, here's different viewpoints of something that happened, and then kind of reveal a little bit, but still leave a lot to be unanswered.
I think it's actually an evolution. I do think he's leaning more away from the horror and more into cinematography and
cinematographer
really
that
works
did everything
and doesn't
everywhere.
come out of left field, for example. Character writing. I think it's a better film. It's just maybe not as scary.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with what Ken says.
See, and sometimes Barbarian is scary in the sense that if there's just some naked old ladies sprinting straight at you, there's going to be a level of fear.
No, don't get me wrong. There are moments in this movie where I was like, I don't want to see this right now. This is awful. And then you're also laughing your face off.
And that's what I was going to bring up. Because what this balances way more than Barbarian did. Barbarian has a sharp turn, and you're either on board with that turn or you're going to be very disappointed.
Yeah.
This has a great balance between giving you this horror and horrifying visual imagery, especially some of the jump scares. I'm not a big fan of jump scares. They were very effective in this.
Yeah.
I couldn't anticipate it. When it's dark, it's okay, grab the chair. It's a dark scene and they're in their house. But I seriously did not expect how much of the scares were effective. But the humor really floored me, especially within the end. A lot of those, we watched 28 Years Later, turns into something that could be looked at as a Power Rangers comedic scene, totally threw off the entire vibe for me. This one only enhanced it.
Yeah, totally agreed.
Yeah, Zach Kreger, one of those directors, comedian turned horror writer. So like Jordan Peele, Danny McBride, like they have
the
such
best kind.
they have such a grasp on human emotion and how to elicit an emotion from you that's why they are so good at horror writing too.
Overall, I think I had a great time with it. This is something that you should definitely go see in a theater. See with a packed crowd. Opening weekend, I think I need to make that qualifier from now on. If you're going to see it opening weekend with a crowd. If not, I think it's still worth it once it comes out on streaming or VOD. This is one of those horror movies that's going to be listed in the top 5 of the year.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And I kind of disagree. I do feel like this movie was hyped up as one of the best horror movies of the decade. And I think it's great. I think it's excellent. I don't know that I'd call it one of the best horror movies of the decade, but I do see it in my top 10 for the end of the year.
And I do think it will get better on rewatch. Well, strangely.
Oh, yeah,
You know
for
what?
sure.
I don't think it will,
Okay.
to be honest. I think the whole story is predicated on the mystery. Once you know the mystery, is that rewatch
I
going
think
to
the
really
performances
matter?
are still great.
The performances are stellar.
Yeah.
And what I love about this type of movie too is it doesn't explain itself. It just here's the reason for the thing that is happening.
And you're like, but what's the lore?
But what's the lore?
You
You're
know?
not going to get it. But I had the same thought. There was a scene early on where I was like, oh, I bet this is awesome on a rewatch. And I bet there's a lot of little stuff that you can pick up that you maybe didn't catch in the first watch through.
Yeah, that was completely different for me. I was like, man, this is great for this, but I don't know if I'm ever going to go back to like do a second watch just because
Right,
it
you
all
see it.
got told.
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We shall see. But at the end of the day, this is to see it for all of us, right?
To see it.
Absolutely. Well, jumping into streaming, we actually got a